Today, the following changes have taken place on the front of the Ukrainian-Russian war. Russian troops, using their superiority in manpower and equipment, are continuously attacking Ukrainian positions. The defenders are steadfastly holding back the onslaught, inflicting maximum losses on the enemy. In total, 155 combat engagements were registered over the last day. In the Kurakhove sector, the defense forces repelled 25 attacks in the vicinity of Tsukurine, Hirnyk, Heorhiivka, Kostiantynivka and Katerynivka. An assault with 19 units of Russian armored vehicles was repelled by paratroopers of the 79th Separate Air Assault Brigade. The Russian military tried to break through the front line with tanks and armored infantry fighting vehicles, but they failed. Using FPV drones, the armed forces of Ukraine defeated the entire offensive brigade. 4 tanks and 2 armored personnel carriers with infantry were destroyed, 23 occupants were killed, and the same number were wounded. In Vuhledar, the Ukrainian military successfully withdrew before the Russian army could occupy the town. They withdrew outside Vuhledar and took up favorable positions in the Forest Plantations. While the Russian infantry was getting acquainted with the new territory, the Ukrainian defense forces watched them from FPV drones and then launched a surprise attack. The defenders managed to neutralize about 20 occupants. Russians may be preparing an assault in the Zaporizhzhia sector, according to Vladislav Voloshin, spokesman for the Southern Defense Forces. According to him, the Russian occupiers did not transfer troops to the Kursk direction from the temporarily occupied territories of Zaporizhzhia region. In the area of Pryutne, the aggressor country is gathering personnel to prepare for possible assault operations. He also said that in the Kurakhove direction, the Russians conduct several assault operations per day. He noted that the occupiers' logistics are organized from the temporarily occupied Crimea and are being carried out along a newly constructed railway line near Mariupol. According to Voloshin, the Russians' logistics routes are under the fire control of the Ukrainian armed forces, but the enemy continues to redeploy units and supply ammunition and fuel and lubricants. Also in this area, the 63rd Brigade successfully struck at Russian positions in Zaporizhzhia. As a result of the operation, the soldiers of the 63rd Brigade destroyed enemy personnel who were trying to take up positions in the gray zone and prevented the supply of new assault groups and ammunition. Thanks to the coordinated actions and professionalism of the Ukrainian military, the enemy suffered serious losses and was driven back from their positions. On the Kursk direction, the aviation and missile forces and artillery of the defense forces conducted 8 strikes on the areas of concentration of enemy personnel and weapons. A battle between a Ukrainian infantry fighting vehicle crew and a Russian one also took place in this area. The battle did not last long, after which the Ukrainian defenders neutralized the entire crew of the Russian infantry fighting vehicle and then took the trophy under the Ukrainian flag. In the Kupyansk sector, 25 enemy attacks took place over the last day. Defense forces repelled enemy assaults near Sinkivka, Novosinov, and Kurakhove. Here, the defense forces used so-called dragon drones against the occupiers. These are small quadcopters that circle over the Forest Plantation on the front line and generously rain fire on the occupiers. They are quite dangerous. Fire is quite a frightening thing even for a trained soldier. When a position is burned out, the ammunition also burns. In the Kramatorsk sector, the occupants attacked 8 times near Andriivka, Klishchiivka, Mayska, and Markov. The situation is under control of the defense forces. Ukrainian troops also tried to drive the enemy out of the forest plantations using heavy artillery. The enemy's losses in this sector are being clarified. In other areas, the situation is stable. The Ukrainian armed forces are repelling enemy attacks and holding their positions. In total, the losses of Russian invaders amounted to 1,130 people over the past day. Ukrainian soldiers also neutralized 4 tanks, 32 armored combat vehicles, 14 artillery systems, 26 tactical UAVs, 71 vehicles, and 4 units of occupants' special equipment. Thank you, friends. That's all for today. Subscribe to the channel to keep up with the latest developments. This video was prepared by Hustler. See you soon.